Hello, Steve White, Steve White 89. Well, the Geeks and Gamers Zack Snyder controversy. I missed it. I was busy living my life from within the Corona zone. And I went on Mecha Random's cooking stream, because she does cooking streams now sometimes, and there's not a lot of politics. I love Mecha Random, but I don't like her politics, whatever. I still watch her. And she mentioned it, and I'm like, oh, did Zack say something? I assumed it was just some little off-the-hand comment or something, or some jab that people were taking were too personal or something. And then I just randomly saw Hill versus Babyface, because I'm not subscribed to him, but I've watched a few of his videos, so they keep recommending him to me, because they know, I guess YouTube knows I've watched him but not subscribed. And same with Mr. H, he comes up all the time, even though I'm not subscribed. So I thought, okay, I'll watch this, because I'm just curious what happened. And he went into a whole lot of things and set up a few specific angles that he wanted to spin it. Then he played the video. And right off the bat, because basically there was a live stream, a Geeks and Gamers live stream, which was on some guy called Oche channel. I don't know who he is. I don't know how to spell his name. It just sounds like Oche. And they were doing a fundraiser for suicide prevention, on sort of in honor of Zack Snyder's daughter who committed suicide, which is why he left the making of the Justice League in the first place. And then, all that happened, and all this happened, and now we get the Snyder Cut. And apparently, I don't know if he was consulted from the beginning, but obviously the cynic in me says, well, they wanted to do this live stream because they thought if they could raise enough money for the charity, they could get Zack Snyder, and it would be a real boom for their subscribers and for their channels and everything. So they got him, but he had a bit of an issue with Geeks and Gamers. He didn't want to be associated with them. I wonder why. Now, he apparently agreed to do it, but supposedly they were supposed to have taken Geeks and Gamers logo off the website for the donations, but they hadn't. And he said, look, just quickly, on our donation page, we still have the Geeks and Gamers logo. I just want to make it very clear I'm not affiliated with them as far as I'm concerned. And he went on to say, in light of recent events, there's no room for hate. As a father of Asian children, basically there's no room for hate, and that's what it's all about. So it's fairly clear to me that he, like a lot of people on the left, see Geeks and Gamers as a hate site. Because he's pro-Trump, he supports a lot of things that are negative, and he's very nasty and attacks people all the time, and he's a very smart, very sharp guy, so he's really good at taking people down. I wouldn't mess with him if I could avoid it, and he doesn't know I exist, so it's okay. It's just so bizarre. I watched a bunch of videos before this, and it's so bizarre to see how this is being seen and spun and reacted to. Hill versus Babyface, his thing was, Warner Brothers made him do it. Big evil corporation Warner Brothers made him do it. That's why he dissed Zack. He really loves Zack, and he loves everything they've done, and he just had to, because Warner Brothers doesn't want to be associated with them because they're trying to destroy us. And I'm like, I don't think so. Supposedly Zack wanted to be on that stream, and it was Warner Brothers telling him not to, and saying he had to dissociate himself with Geeks and Gamers and everything. Now, how he's getting that, I don't know. Possibly or supposedly he was told by the people organising that that's what they were told. But I think Zack's a big boy and can speak for himself, and he's just won a big battle with Warner Brothers by getting the Snyder Cut taken and done and finished, and it's about to get huge views and assure him plenty of contracts and movies in the future. So I don't think he would have been that scared, because of the nature of he wasn't supporting Geeks and Gamers. He was supporting a fundraiser for suicide prevention that Geeks and Gamers was involved in. Now, we all know a charity, you do what you have to do. Sometimes you have to lay down with certain people to get stuff done. Just like politics, sometimes you have to do that to get stuff done. So no one would hold that against him. If someone came to him and said, hey, we're helping out with this, and someone is someone he wouldn't want to be associated with in his personal life or working life. So I don't believe that Warner Brothers made him do it. Another person was claiming that, oh no, there's nothing to do with that. He was making two statements and he just didn't leave a big enough gap between the sentences. So he wasn't associating Geeks and Gamers with the hate crimes against Asian people in America, which is what the guy who shot, because there was a shooting in Georgia, I think there were 8 people shot, 6 Asian women were killed in certain spas around the area. And the guy who did it, I'm not going to mention his name, he now is preparing his defense, and he's saying, oh, I'm a sex addict and I was basically attacking these people, not because they're Asian, because I have a sex addiction and they're spas, and apparently that's where he has sex with people. I don't know, but he's already going with his defense, and I'm not convinced that it's not a hate crime, but there's no evidence. He's not like out and loud saying I'm a white supremacist and yeah, I killed those Asian people because they're Asian. So we can't say that, but as soon as it happened, that was the assumption. And the fear Asian people have been living in because of all the less serious attacks, like the attacks on Asian people, the Asian hate crime, last time I looked, has gone up like 2,000% since Trump started with the whole Asia virus spiel. So a lot of Asian people, when they saw those shootings, they immediately thought, this is the next step. This is where this is going. We're not just getting spat on, hit, pushed, shoved, beaten. Now we're going to get shot. So there are a lot of Asian people, particularly elderly Asian people, who are being targeted to start off with, I think, are afraid to leave their house. And it's a really horrible situation. And anyone who has said China virus, anyone who's done this is a part of this. And if anyone, and people have died, I'm sorry, I forgot, people have been killed. Anyone who has been using China virus has blood on their hands. And if you think you don't, you are fooling yourself. If you support something like that, a hate movement like that, and help give it, legitimize it, and give it strength and power, and make people feel like they're part of a group or a movement, or it's okay to express their hate like that, and then people get hurt and killed from it, that's on you. So I'm not 100% sure that Jeremy has used the China virus. I'm sure I heard him use it. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. And I'm just going to say, if he said that, he's responsible for this, just like everyone else who uses those racist terms. And Zack Snyder has Asian children. He's probably afraid of his children being attacked. I can't imagine being a parent of any kid that isn't white and sending them off into the world in America and not being afraid of them being attacked or shot or killed or something because of all that racism and hate crimes. So he's clearly upset about this, and he's clearly talking about that. And I'm sure in his Trump rants that Jeremy refers to COVID as the China virus, or has. I know other people with fandom menace definitely have, because I listen to a lot of their videos. I'm in the difficult position where I like a lot of them personally, and I agree with all their geek ideas and views and everything. But when it comes to politics and what they support, I have trouble with them, and I'm trying to negotiate that because I don't want to just like cancel them. They're all evil, because I know they're kind of not. They're not hateful, evil people, but they seem to have been radicalized and brought into that sort of supporting those sort of movements without directly. It's really bizarre the way this sort of works, but I'm pretty sure Jeremy's used those terms, and I'm pretty sure he's responsible, like all the rest who do, for the hate crimes that are happening in America, because they have big platforms and they legitimize it and they make it okay for people to think that's okay, and that just feeds into the whole hate machine that's just rolling through America at the moment. So what baffles me is that he thought he could be a Trump supporter and be someone just spouting hate and division, and it wouldn't come back to him in some way that would affect him. Like, I'm sure he wanted to speak to Zack Snyder. He wanted to get that big fish in his little channel. And he got bitch slapped right out of that channel. He wasn't even in the live stream. I guess he wasn't allowed to be. So he got a huge slap in the face, and I'm pretty sure he deserves it because all the things he says and supports, and you can't support white supremacists and racism and then say, well, I just support this element of what they're saying and this element or this policy, not everything. You know what they're doing, you're supporting it, you're hurting people, you're part of the problem, and he's part of the problem. Just like a lot of people who, I like some of their views when it comes to popular culture, but not politics. So I have a difficult time where I'm like, I shouldn't, but then I don't want to be a hater, and I want to try and work these people out. And usually you want to try and educate these people and help them out of their wrong think, because that's what they call it, wrong think. But yeah, so look, I'm a recovering social justice warrior. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to be a centrist. I sort of went from one side, I got sucked into the hate mob on the other side, and now I've sort of come out and I'm trying to just find reality, because both sides are insane. The hate mob and the social justice warriors, they're both as bad as each other. And I admit I have the recovering social justice warrior in me has enjoyed Gina Carano's cancellation, is enjoying Sharon Osbourne's cancellation, Piers Morgan's cancellation, people who I think deserve it. I don't support any of these. I haven't hashtagged anything, but I'm happy to see it happen because I think they've asked for it, and I'm just going to let the public decide at the moment. But I think Jeremy's in the same boat. So the fact that Zack Snyder wouldn't be in the same stream as him, even though he's raising money for this charity for him, I understand, and I don't blame him at all. I wouldn't want to screw up the funding for the fundraiser, so I would have showed up, but I would have made it very clear what I thought of people. It was exactly what he did, and I respect that. Now, is this going to hurt the release of the Snyder cut tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow or today. Possibly. Some people said they won't review it. That basically he's turned his back because this is how this whole group thinks. You're one of us or you're against us. You're for us or against us. If you're not one of us, you're against us. And now Zack Snyder's against the fan community because he doesn't want to be associated with what I'm sure he considers a hate group with geeks and gamers. So it's kind of fascinating. Now, I was kind of fascinated that some of these people who are supposedly friends with Jeremy, who were there because of Jeremy, didn't stand up for him. They didn't say anything. They just went quiet. The smiles went off their faces. And then they just kept going on with their interview with Zack Snyder, their live stream with Zack Snyder. None of them got up and walked off and said, if Jeremy's not here, I won't be here. I won't participate in this. None of them stood up for him. None of them did anything. None of them did anything. So before they start spouting off about who was dissed and all that, none of them did anything about it. And they all could have said something. And the other thing about the charity, they're saying, oh, it hurt the charity, And I'm like, well, if people were only donating because they wanted to get on live stream with Zack Snyder, or they wanted to help Geeks and Gamers and help them get that big fish and get all those views and likes and subscribers and everything, and then didn't donate because Zack Snyder dissed Geeks and Gamers, obviously they don't care about the cause. They weren't there for the right reasons. So, yeah. So I found it all really fascinating. Again, I am not 100% sure that Jeremy uses the term China virus. I'm sure he did. I'm sure I heard him do it, but I haven't had the time to go back over his videos and try and find him referring to it in one of his Trump rants, because they're in every video. Every video goes into some gaslighting spiel for Trump or the right wing, no matter what the subject is. So I kind of can't stomach him, really. I mean, even though he's kind of cute, it's annoying. These people, these right wing crazy people are always quite attractive physically. I don't get it. I'm not usually attracted to white guys either. It's really weird. I don't know what that is about them. It's nothing to do with their politics, but it's just really weird. So he's I don't know, because supposedly he plays this stuff up for attention. So whether he actually believes what he's saying, and maybe the other people know he actually isn't a racist and doesn't believe stuff like the China virus, but if he's saying it because it gets clicks, it gets attention, it gets people angry and all that, and makes him more famous, then it's even worse because he's contributing to hate crimes and he doesn't even believe in the cause. He's just, there's no winning for him in this, and I don't think he deserved to have that platform and have someone like Zack Snyder talking to him and giving him that validation. So I'm glad he didn't get it, because that's kind of the reason why I didn't watch it, because I'm like, I don't really want to see, I don't see why he'd associate himself with them. And then he didn't, and I'm like, wow, okay. I was really, I said I wish I'd videoed my reaction to that video, because it would have been far more animated and interesting than any videos I've done just talking. And then I had to calm down and say, you can't enjoy this, you're better than that, this is not a good thing. If he's spreading hate, he's hurting people. If he's sort of missed out on something he really believed in and wanted to be a part of, because of that hatred, he's lost something because of something he's done that's wrong. There's no good or winning in this. Zack Snyder's film may be hurt a little bit because a lot of the geek community won't support the film like they were going to. There's no winners in this. So I had to pull myself back and just say, don't enjoy this. Watch some videos, see what people are saying, say something so you can go get back to what you're doing, because it was really distracting. But yeah, I've talked for 16 minutes. Wow. I didn't realize it was that long. The timer on the screen on my camera is really small. Sometimes I don't even notice. But I'm going to go. I think I've covered everything. The main thing that got me was that Jeremy didn't see this coming. You can't be like alternative and hateful and all that, and then expect to be embraced by the mainstream and people like, who work with people like companies like Warner Brothers. So I don't understand the surprise or the shock. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, maybe ding the bell. It does actually help so you get notifications. And I can't believe I got to 17 minutes. Oh, I talk too much. Thanks. Bye.